Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
Oh, yeah. All of our guests today, including Ross Tucker, standing by, are sponsored by Basant Motors. It is Basant Motors' 31st anniversary, and they are celebrating with their biggest sale of the year. Great deals, great selection. Learn more, Rick, at BASANT Motors.com.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking NFL football now. We bring in, as always, on a Monday, usually on a Monday.
Yeah.
Although we've moved him around a bit lately, and he's managed to navigate things perfectly. From the Ross Tucker Football Podcast, CBS Sports and Westwood One, the extremely busy Ross Tucker. How are you, sir?
Donnie, I am fantastic. Yes, we did Tuesday last week because I was driving up to Buffalo to call the Bills-Titans game when we normally talk on Monday. So we did move around a little bit last week. I do appreciate, by the way, you spelling out Basant for Rick, BASANT, Motors.com.
Basant's easy, Ross. I did get past grade 12, Ross. I did.
If you only could see us before we hit the air, how many things we have to spell out for him.
Oh, yeah.
Basant, no problem. Hey, you tweeted out that you were looking forward to seeing what Nathaniel Hackett had to offer up as a head coach going into the Broncos versus the 49ers. How do you do?
Better, I guess. I mean, the bar was real low, Donnie, real low, because the first 2 weeks, he was a mess. They were a disaster. They didn't have clear-cut, blatant, horrendous game management or clock management against the 49ers. I mean, look, they still had 9 3-and-outs. They scored 11 points.
Yeah.
They're lucky to win the game. But you didn't see some of the just complete ineptitude that we saw the first 2 weeks. So I would say better. He was better. I'm not going to say good, but better. Progress.
So they go out, the Broncos do, and hire, after a couple of weeks, senior advisor Jerry Rosberg. I guess he helped with game management. How unusual is that?
It's not unusual to have a game management coach or someone that's devoted to that. It is unusual to not have that person and then hire them during the season like Hackett did. So it's always one of those situations, Donnie, where we could sit here and be really critical that he didn't already have this in place, that he, did what he did the first couple games, or we can give him credit. He realized he screwed up. He realized that he needed someone to help him, and he tried to fix the problem. I respect and appreciate that. In life, we all make mistakes. Certainly Rick makes more than his fair share, and yet we are all afforded the opportunity to try to make amends for those mistakes. So I like the fact that he's trying to do something about it, and I know for a fact other teams have game management coaches. I'm a little surprised he didn't start out with one, to be honest with you.
Dolphins knock off the Bills. Just your opinion of Tua coming back into that game after suffering what looked to be some degree of a concussion.
It's a tough one. Really tough one. I talked about that this morning on the Ross Tucker Football Podcast. It's a big deal. You know how I know it's a big deal? Just based on some of the people that were texting me after he came back in the game. Multiple people they never asked me about football. They don't even care about football. Were like, how are they letting him back in? I thought there was a concussion protocol. It's not a good look for the NFL at all. Now, I guess they're saying that he didn't suffer a head injury. It was actually a back injury, and everyone can watch the video for themselves and decide whether or not they believe that. I think the real issue, if we're being honest, is the fact that they're going to do an investigation and then they'll say whatever they say. But that doesn't change like what my mom saw or what the other people that were texting me saw, right? Like the NFL can say whatever they want. Oh, he didn't have a head injury. It was a back injury and protocol was followed. Well, but by then, my mom and my buddy and his wife down the street, they're not going to pay. They don't pay. All they do is watch the games on Sunday. They don't care about what, they don't care about some announcement from the NFL 10 days from now on a Wednesday. They watched the game. They saw that the guy looked like he had a concussion. They saw him come back in the game, and it's real bad in the court of public opinion for the NFL.
Hey, Ross, the Bills' offensive coordinator, they had video of him going nuts in the coach's booth. You saw Tom Brady throwing his tablet a couple of weekends ago. There's so many cameras at NFL games. Back in your day, are you okay with these guys losing it the way they are during games?
Yeah, I mean, from my standpoint, I mean, I'm a broadcaster and a podcaster. I love it. I think it's hilarious, entertaining, gives me something to talk about, gives you something to ask me.
Yeah.
It's probably not ideal, right? You'd rather them keep their composure. Although in Brady's case, got to be pretty fun to smash something that you don't have to pay for, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
The Bucs aren't making him pay for that. It's got to be fun to just smash something to the ground and know, are they going to take it out of Brady's paycheck? I doubt it. He would laugh in their face. I also, on some level, appreciate that they care that much.
Yes.
Yeah.
I appreciate the emotion involved. You're supposed to be passionate about it. You're supposed to care about it. You're supposed to get mad if things aren't going well. So I kind of like it. I embrace people that are passionate and care a lot about what it is they're doing.
That Bills offensive coordinator looked like you after I asked a dumb question. Same thing. All right. Okay, that just went over your head.
No, you know what, Rick? You know what?
What?
So that was awesome right there because you tried to make a funny.
Yeah.
Okay? You tried to have a joke.
Yes.
And it was a terrible joke. And here you are, we're going into week 4. You've actually been pretty solid so far this year. You haven't really teed any up for me, and you brought that upon yourself.
Okay, I'm trying to have fun.
It turned out to be funny.
It was funny in the end. Anyways, listen.
It's funny because I made fun of you trying to be funny. That's why it's funny.
Oh, for crying out loud. Listen, the Chargers allowing quarterback Justin Herbert to play. He wouldn't come out in the third quarter. He wouldn't come out in the fourth quarter. They were losing big time. The coach asked him to come out. He's getting ripped pretty good in L.A. for playing and then not coming out. What are your thoughts on that?
It's the coach.
Yeah.
The coach has to say, you're out. I mean, I'm fine with him playing. I'm sure he got it injected or whatever. But when the game's out of reach,
get out.
It's galactically stupid for him to still be out there.
Yeah.
And the coach is like, he wanted to finish with his guys. That is so dumb. Yeah. I mean, most players want to play. Most players want to be out there. You got to, at some point, be the adult in the room and say, listen, I know you do, and I respect that, but we can't have you missing other games. You're out.
Yeah.
Hey, Ross, Seahawks and Falcons end up winning that game. But, man, I tell you, the player that stuck out for me, and I'm not going to sit here and say that I watch the Falcons every week, but having a guy wearing the number 84 in the backfield, that's just outstanding. I know he's a former receiver, but this Cordarrelle Patterson of the Falcons, I just want to get your thoughts on him because he stuck out like a sore thumb, not just because of the number. I'm a numbers guy. I love that sort of stuff. But, boy, did he look good. What is your opinion of him? What do you know about him?
Yeah, he's fun. He is a fun player to watch. He was a first-round pick because he was so dynamic at Tennessee, but it never really translated as a route runner. Mm-hmm. But he's so dynamic with the ball in his hands that he's been so good. He's been the best returner in the league for like 10 years. And finally, teams have discovered, you know what? Let's just give him the ball as a running back. I mean, he's so good with the ball in his hands, so good once he gets ahead of steam. And kudos to Arthur Smith and the Falcons for realizing that and utilizing him. He's been fantastic.
Yeah, fun to watch. All right, speaking of fun, next week. Thanks so much for this, Ross. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you guys so much for having me.
You going to say something, Rick?
No, I'm getting out.